Hey everybody, this is Raul for Bass Musician Magazine, and today we have the great honor and pleasure of chatting with bassist Jymmy Tolland. Jymmy is the bassist with Bobaflex. So Jymmy, thanks for taking some time to chat with us today via Skype. This is one of these great things. You can be where you are, I can be where I am, and we can talk. We always like to get started finding out about your bass journey. How did you get started in bass?
Like a lot of people, I was a aspiring guitar player, and then realized that there's a million guitar players that are better than me, and found a couple opportunities to play bass, and kind of jumped at those and started working down that path.
Gotcha. And were you high school, elementary school?
No, I played guitar through high school, and then it was around the time I was 19 or 20. I started realizing I didn't really have what it took to play a lot of guitar parts and whatnot. So I joined up with some buddies of mine on bass, and that was 5-6 years ago, something like that.
Gotcha. And so it's been kind of a baptism by fire, where you just jumped in and you've been doing it.
Yeah. It's been a lot of hard hours and working all night, and kind of catching up with where I needed to be back then.
Gotcha. And Bobaflex, tell us about the band. How long have you been with Bobaflex?
I joined Bobaflex, I think it's actually almost exactly 3 years ago now. I played in a couple local bands and regional bands, and met the guys through that were in Bobaflex, and their bass player quit a few summers ago, and it was a pretty easy transition. I just got a phone call and was told to kind of be ready. Had about a month to get it together, and just kind of hopped in, and it was pretty easy, all things considered.
Nice. And you guys have exciting news. You have a new album coming up. It releases on August 25th, titled Eloquent Demons.
Yes, we do.
And it's very interesting. Tell us a little bit about this CD, this EP that you guys are releasing.
This is my second record with Bobaflex, and it's definitely a kind of interesting, different feel from the last one, because both the guitar player Dave and I were brand new on the last record, and so this, after a few years of touring and getting to know everybody, this one felt a lot more natural and faster, I guess. A lot easier to work on, not quite as many roadblocks on the way. So I feel like it's a little bit better of a musical stew than the last one.
Gotcha. And music-wise and genre-wise, I was listening to it, and it's interesting because when I saw the cover, which is a very creative cover of the demons kind of in the pose here, and I was kind of expecting, I think initially more of a death metal kind of sound. Just by looking at the cover, I'm going, okay, here I go. This is going to be a lot of like this. But there is a really great blend of harmonic vocals and arrangements that makes me think kind of Queen from a point of view, and again, there's some parts where there's just vocal harmony. I'm like, whoa, okay, wait.
You smiled at me when you said that. He's behind the camera cheesing like an idiot. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. Well, I was, and a lot of times when it comes to some of the music genres, I'll hear it. Credit to everybody who does their expression in their music, but this really kind of sucked me in. Again, the combination of the arrangements, the vocals. It wasn't what I was expecting, which was a real pleasant surprise. A preview of this, I know you guys did about a few weeks ago, long time coming on YouTube. There's a video out so people can kind of get an idea a little bit about that. So your creative process, are you guys writing together, or how's that working?
Oh, it's every different way you could imagine. There's sometimes when somebody just builds something around a vocal hook, or just an idea, or sometimes we'll be standing in a room noodling until something sticks, or somebody will come with an entire song written. Sometimes there's really no kind of standard operating procedure for how we write. It just is what it is. We've built songs before just based on stories somebody told us, decided we should write something about that and stand in a room till it gets done. It could be however, I guess.
Gotcha. And in addition to the CD release, what's in the works? What's coming up for Bobaflex? What do you guys have planned?
Infinite touring. That's definitely our regular thing is tour, and then an album and tour. We're gonna do well over 100 shows this year, same as last year, and so that's pretty much our main thing. That's how I've always felt the real aspect of the band is through touring and our live show, and the album is as much of a calling card for that as vice versa.
Gotcha. And if people want to know where you're going to be, what's the best place for them to look, like a website or?
Google Bobaflex. We got it set up to where our tour dates will just pop up if you Google the band name even. You can go to the website, you can go to the Facebook, go to our Instagram. But if you don't want to mess with that, you can just Google the word Bobaflex and it'll all pop up for you.
Gotcha. And your voice in particularly with the music. In the video, we start talking gear here. I saw, I believe it was a Fender looking kind of bass. Tell us about your weapons of choice that are giving you your voice with Bobaflex.
Well, my main bass is a Rickenbacker 4001 in 1976, and for the video, I played on the P bass that you saw. Mm-hmm. The reason I did that was just because it weighs about half as much. And when you got to play all day and try to move around and look cool in a video, that extra 4 or 5 pounds on your shoulder really kind of shows through on the video. So I went with the P bass for the video, and but I think 8 of the 9 songs I played a Rickenbacker on, and then one song I needed a little bit more of a mellow sound, so I went with the P bass with the tone and the volume rolled back just a little bit.
Nice. And amplification-wise, what are you running it through?
Live, I run my Rickenbacker into a Sans amp by Tech 21 RBI. It's basically the rack-mounted version of the pedal that everybody has. Mm-hmm. Through a cheap DBX compressor into a Crown Power amp into the classic 810 fridge, and for the record, I did the same thing, but I also blended it with actually I'll turn and show it to you. This is my Pride and Joy amp. I don't know how well you can see it. Oh, that's nice. That's my studio rig. It's a 1970 Ampeg V4. So yeah, I blended between the Sans amp and that Ampeg because that thing just got a weird character. It's a guitar head actually, and there's just a weird character to it that I can't find in anything else. But I don't trust myself to tour with it, bouncing down the road 250 days a year. So it stays locked up at home unless I'm recording.
Gotcha. Well, that is one of the truths of touring is that your gear is subject to all kinds of, possibilities with damage. And there's a lot of musicians that don't even take their favorite bass on the road because they're like, I don't want it to get, dropped. Recently, I want to say in the last week or so, Stu Ham posted a picture on Facebook that his signature Warwick, I guess it got dropped. And so you look at from the bridge to the peg where the strap goes in, it's all chipped off. And I think he said it can be fixed, but still you're kind of going, that's gotta hurt, because stuff happens. What can you do? Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times I've spun around, not paying attention, and cracked the headstock of my bass on just a support beam or something. And fortunately, I've never had any major damage done to it, but there's plenty of chips and dents in it.
Well, and and then I guess on the other hand, there's a whole market for road worn basses. So either you're doing it yourself or you had somebody else do it for you. Yeah,
I wear enough belts that you could definitely sell mine as road worn.
There you go. So we've talked a little bit about, of course, the new CD, touring. Outside of the band, do you work on any projects on your own, or are you pretty much just focused on this?
That's about my 100%. It's pretty much 24/7, 365. If I'm writing or playing, it's at least with the idea in the back of my mind that it could be used for Bobaflex. We're so busy, I don't really have the time or the energy to put much effort into something that's going somewhere else.
Gotcha.
It's pretty fun.
And is there anything that you would like to do? Because I know that even though you're busy, sometimes there's kind of in that note to self, one of these days I would like to do, project, thoughts.
I don't know, because we're so kind of open and cool in Bobaflex. Obviously we're kind of overall a hard rock band, but we're so artistically kind of open and to ideas and stuff that anything that I do want to do, if I feel passionately enough about it, we can probably make it work in the context of Bobaflex.
Gotcha.
Even if it's just something that we like and tuck on at the end of the album and it's not a single or something. If, everybody's got their ideas that they want to put in, we usually are, open as a group to tucking everything in there.
Very cool. Very cool. And, that's a unique position, because a lot of times with bands that have a particular signature sound, or they're kind of locked into what the fans are expecting, musicians will have like a side project that they're putting off on their own. They'll go, okay, I'm going to do that later or one day, because you can't put it into your everyday music. And so this is kind of a unique situation. And And if you were to give, I know there's a lot of young musicians that watch these videos and they go, wow, that sounds like something I'd really want to do. If you were able to give like just one pearl of advice to aspiring rock bassists, what would you tell them?
No matter how much you think you're supposed to practice, you should probably be practicing about 3 or 4 times as much.
Gotcha.
I've felt like I was right where I needed to be, and then I realized, oh wow, I could be doing a lot better. We play as a band. Bobaflex plays so much together. It's the only way to get to where you should be at, is you have to practice every day for hours and hours and hours. And if you're trying to make it as a career musician and you're not able to put that time into it, then you probably don't want to be a career musician quite that bad.
Gotcha. So yet another musician, you're hearing it here, telling you hard work and dedication and kind of giving it 100%.
Yeah, I'm not that smart and I'm not that naturally talented. I just really wanted to do it and put the hours in.
Gotcha. Well, hey, it's hard work pays off. And so many times when you hear people that are going, gee, I wish this, wishing is not enough. You really got to put in the hours and, bring your A game and try hard.
Exactly.
Well, Jimmy, thank you so much for taking time out of your guys' busy schedule, chatting with us. People, Eloquent Demons goes out on August 25th. If you're seeing this after August 25th, you can already get this.
Check it out.
There you go. Again, best places, Google Bobaflex online. I'll do it and add the link in the credits so people can help find your guys' website. Look for a tour. Again, nothing better than live performance. And sample this. I'll include the video link as well. I think you're going to be very pleasantly pleased with the arrangements, the vocals, the musicality of Bobaflex as a whole. And you're going to want to experience. And I'm sure as a live performance, it's got to be a great show. So again, people, thank you so much, Jimmy. This is coming to you live on Bass Musician Magazine.